Cultural reflections. Moving boxes. I spent a lot of my childhood moving from place to place. During all of this, I was exposed to multiple different cultures and diverse backgrounds, all of which have impacted my life and given me the ability to not only respect but admire other cultures, as well as the desire to continue learning and educating myself. My daughter is also biracial, so respectfully navigating having a child as a different cultural identity as mine is a top priority. The second image is friends. One of the places I lived with was my best friend and her family. This experience really showed me how profound and impactful empathy and grace are. They chose to love and care for me when it was not their responsibility. It also shaped my perspective as an educator to always give grace, because you never know what a student may be going through outside of the school walls. The next picture is a Christmas tree. Christmas was always a huge part of my life. Knowing the story of the birth of Christ, the season of giving, and spending time with loved ones is something I look forward to sharing with my daughter each and every year. We love to attend church, volunteer at shelters and soup kitchens, and bake Christmas treats with our loved ones. Those are some of our special traditions we do every Christmas. The fourth picture is a family photo. A huge part of who I am is my family. After the tumultuous childhood I had, my goals for the family I created was to have peace and love, and I can safely say that we have created that. I wouldn't be who I am without them. Everything I do for them, so recognizing their significance is a huge part of my identity and who I am. Due to my upbringing, I have the natural ability to extend grace. If grace wasn't given to me, I wouldn't be where I am today, and I know it isn't always easy. Allowing my students to know they matter and are loved is so important to me. Proverbs 22:6 says, "Train up a child in the way he should go, even when he is old, he will not depart from it." This helps to remind me as an educator to give every student the basis of love, compassion, and respect. Even if they forget material learned, the feelings of being accepted will forever shape them. The Christian principles of love, compassion, and respect for everyone applies to all, including children. When we as adults and educators show our students we truly care, their words hold weight. We are fostering the confidence and sense of self within them to discover who they are. I remember growing up, some days were easier than others. Remembering the hard days helps me extend grace to students by knowing I have no idea what they went through before they walked through the door of my classroom. Being a strong, consistent, and safe adult to help guide them is an honor that I don't take lightly. Equal is not always fair. Equal does not always mean fair. Everyone deserves the same opportunity to thrive, but that doesn't mean they all need the same tools and resources to get there. Putting the funding towards bringing all education systems to the same level as the highest district should be the ultimate goal. And then just being a sibling, my brother is neurodivergent with various learning and behavioral differences and disabilities. Watching him struggle throughout his entire education journey showed me that equal is not always fair. He needed different strategies and tools to help him than some of his peers, and that is okay. Allowing a space for those different is critical in education. One of the disorders my brother struggles with is dyslexia. I remember getting so angry for him because no one was willing to help find solutions that worked for him. He was continuously handed the same worksheets the rest of his peers were, knowing full well he was not able to process them in the same way. This led to so much frustration and shame throughout his educational journey that had tremendous impacts on him and his view of learning. To reiterate, equal does not always mean fair. Equity over equality needs to be prioritized in the realm of education to ensure every child has a safe environment to learn and grow, which is really the general idea of my entire teaching philosophy. Allowing a fish water to swim in and a bird room to fly isn't equal, but it does provide each with a fair chance of success. My daughter is biracial, and having a firsthand experience of witnessing her cultural identity, seeing how she naturally responds to racism and discrimination and situations where she is the minority shapes me tremendously. It has opened my eyes to seeing just how much progress we still need to make as human beings to promote and celebrate diversity. This case broke my heart when it made national news. It showcases how any form of diversity is not always welcome. According to CNN, this boy was suspended for refusing to change his hair after being told it violated their dress code policy on length of male students' hair, which does not include the diversity and the cultural identity he has. This highlights the lack of diversity in educational institutions. The main Christian principles of Love, respect, and compassion are essential to creating and fostering a culturally inclusive background and classroom that welcomes all students and celebrates all diversity. Following Jesus and the Word of God means to love everyone. Bottom line is, everyone is worthy and deserving of kindness, dignity, and respect. That is something that is a natural born right of every human being. Remembering that and extending the act of kindness goes so far. It can totally change a student's entire attitude and maybe even change their whole life. One way I plan to foster that in a classroom is from the very beginning. From the first email or newsletter sent, I want it known that I am excited to be their teacher and that my classroom is one for everyone. All cultural identities are celebrated, welcomed, encouraged, and highlighted in my classroom. I want every student to feel seen, heard, and included. So much of who I am revolves around the things I went through growing up. Knowing that sometimes school is one of the only escapes children have has gifted me the ability to be humble. I remember the feeling and how much even a smile from a teacher meant to me. Making students feel safe at home and welcomed in my classroom is one of the top priorities of mine as a future educator. Creating a space where students can share their own personal cultural identities and teach their fellow classmates about themselves and their traditions is a huge goal of mine as a future teacher. Allowing the room to open those discussions and questions, strengthen the community bond within the students in my classroom, and highlight the differences among us is so important to me.